And we should be live right there. Alright, everything looks like it's all green. I'm going to go ahead and immediately pop my chat out. Going to be tripping all over myself today with that camera in the corner of my eye. Something I am definitely not used to. Hello, Russia. How are you today? Okay, so this is going to be just a really light stream. It is essentially going to be just double checking that the setup's running, that it's not doing anything crazy. The cameras, it's okay. I have the 2020 webcam that I was able to pick up at the time, and no dedicated lighting. We've got some natural light, we've got some unnatural light, so it is what it is on that. We're just going to struggle bus this for now, and make do with what we have. The plan today is I'm going to unlock Viper. I'm going to mess around with it a little bit. We'll see what I get up to. Not an overly long stream. I just mainly want to make sure everything's working, see who pops in, do a little chitty chatting, and then on the next stream, which I'm thinking is going to be Sunday, we're going to actually start MSQ. I will try to just get the level up. Maybe we'll do the Viper quests up to 90. I'll just get to 90 and then we can do the quests and then start Dawntrail. Alternatively, I may also just chicken out and play Warrior, since Warrior is about my IQ level while I'm on camera, and I can just hit things with an axe, and that's a little bit of a simpler than trying to learn some new class, new positionals and whatnot. Okay, so I am all prepped up here, ready, he says as he pushes all kinds of buttons. Ready to hop in. Just one last check. Stream's looking good. How are you finding the volume on that, Russia? Of course, the best thing to do right before you start a stream is go and change all of your sound settings. That's just the way to do it, and that's what I did. So hopefully this is coming through okay. I wanted to make it a little more even and rebalance for Final Fantasy's sound. Okay, and let's go ahead and get started. So we've got the Worried Weaver here. This is the Viper unlock, if I am correct. And I am. Enter the Viper. Assisting this Weaver could be the beginning of a whole new adventure. Let's see what he's got. You're an adventurer, yes? There's a spot of bother over at the Weavers Guild, and we could use your hand sorting out. We received an order for a full ensemble, but now the work's been completed and the client refuses to pay. Mind you, I had my suspicions from the start. He calls himself a Viper of all things. In my experience, people who name themselves after snakes are not to be trusted. I mean, that's fair. That is pretty fair. In any case, he carries a pair of swords on his back, and I hate to think what would happen if he started wielding them in anger. Could you head over to the guild and smooth things over? Yeah, I got this. I'm known around the Weavers Guild. I've done my fair share of sewing. Alright, let's just hop on over and we'll use the Ethernet system and see how that goes. Oh, and I've lost my chat. Let me get that back out, because I want to see what people are saying. There we go. Thank you for the sound check. I appreciate that. I just noticed the typo in my writing and I hate those. Yeah, we'll all survive together. Alright, use our Ethernet, and we're going to head over to the Weavers Guild. I have been pretty excited for this. It came out in the quote-unquote early access on Friday, and I knew that, you don't stream Final Fantasy right on expansion, and so, yeah, waiting has been killing me a little bit. What do you know? Despite my best efforts to reason with him, he keeps going on and on about Vipers and such. What am I to do? Good day to you, stranger. I was hoping I might make the acquaintance of someone a bit rougher around the edges. Someone who's seen his fair share of action. Could you tell me what prey's worth hunting in these parts? Does he think the Weavers are like spiders or something? Have you any idea what he's talking about? I took no issue in fulfilling his order, but now it's time to pay. It's as though we're talking cross-purpose. Likewise, I don't understand what makes this fellow so difficult. All I'm asking for is the outfit I ordered and the name of some critters worth killing. You have to pay. Maybe I ought to explain from the beginning. I'm from Tyrol, a big old continent on the other side of the salt west of here. You've been there, I reckon? No, not yet, actually. I haven't started the expansion. Then you might have seen the others who wield dual blades, or vipers as they're traditionally known. Our duty is to hunt ferocious beasts that endanger the lives of innocent folk. In fact, that's what brought me here. Thing is, all that fighting and long days on the road ain't been too kind to my gear. Reckon it's high time I get a new get-up, bespoke and all. Fascinating, I'm sure, but why do you refuse to pay for your order? And why are you so insistent that I choose my prey? He probably thinks he's going to pay by killing something. Because how else am I supposed to pay you? Do us a favor and we'll hunt down a beast you want. That's the code. That's how vipers do business. Yeah, you can't just come in and, like, decide that unilaterally, man. Yeah. The Lolafel's right. I hate to side with a Lolafel, but he's right. It appears the Weaver's Guild doesn't need any fiends felled, or Weavers prefer a more conventional form of compensation. Yeah. Weavers prefer a more conventional form of compensation. That's so. So, you're saying they want something else instead? Yeah. Did they not have money where you're from? Payment commensurate with the skills and materials required. In Gil, preferably. Well, didn't see that one coming. Guess that explains our little misunderstanding. But surely your countrymen trade in some sort of currency, yes? Or are all Vipers so far removed from society to be unaware of such concepts? Of course we know what money is. We ain't no bumpkins. But when it comes to requisitioning goods and services, I usually rely on the elders to deal with artisans and the like, which is to say I ain't in the habit of carrying sufficient sums. So be it. If your only form of payment is slaying beasts, that shall have to do. Oh, what a nice guy. This is weird. As it happens, one of my colleagues in Eastern Thanaland reports that merchants carrying our supplies have been attacked by a wild fiend. What's more, the creature is a species of many-headed scalekin, never before seen in the region. It's rumored to have escaped from the Colosseum and has been running rampant ever since. Scaly? Lot of heads? Alright, you got yourself a deal. Now you're speaking the same language here, guys. Deal? Considering the guild has already fulfilled its end of the bargain, you should count yourself lucky. Still, I'd hate for anything to go awry at this juncture. Might I ask a favor of you, friend? I'd like you to accompany him and ensure that he attends to the creature as agreed. Besides, I dare say something so-called Viper at work will be an enlightening experience. The name's Keshkwa. Pleasure to meet you. Man, these names in this expansion. I just want to preempt it with, oh man, the names in this expansion. The creature was last seen near Camp Drybone, so I advise you to begin there. Yeah, the Lolafels are very small because they've condensed all their evil down into a bite-sized package. Okay, we need to head to Camp Drybone. I'm not 100% sure how long we're going to go. Like I said, today's main purpose is just kind of a tech test, and just get the quest recorded. My plan is just to go until I'm feeling like I'm just spinning my wheels. Like, I'm not going to be able to level fast enough to get a new class to the expansion level. It'll take me a day or two to do that. So, that is the current plan at least. Nope, did not need that. Alright. Keshkwa. So this is Camp Drybone, huh? Fitting name. Are you ready to hunt? Yeah, at least it's straightforward. What's that look for? Let me guess. You want to ask around first and see if anyone can point us in the right direction. No need. The Weaver's friend told me plenty. All we gotta do is track down the beast, which is a Viper's specialty. Alright. Hey, they're not gonna make me walk. Sweet. Okay, I could see why this was a problem. It went after the traders carrying tailor materials. Bolts of cloth and whatnot doesn't sound too tasty to me. So I'm guessing the merchants themselves that the beast had its eye on. I gotta say, my glamour is on point right now. Most predators use their sense of smell to pick out their meals. Scents carry on the wind, so you gotta consider the position of rocks and plants to determine how the air tends to flow through the area. Ain't too hard to deduce where a critter's made its lair after you've done that. Yep, that's a big one. Mean looking too. Must be wreaking havoc on the food chain. Never mind the danger it poses to locals. Well, time to do what a viper does best. Okay. Flashy, to be sure. That's that. So, you like the show? Don't play coy. I can see you're intrigued. But before I spill all my secrets, I got a question for you. Ever heard of a Turol Vidrol? I can't say I have, no. Gotta say, the new graphic update really makes this leather pop. Like, this looks way better than it used to. Thought not. Well, they're a rare breed of beast that wields all kinds of powers they got no right having. A threat to every kind of living thing that has the temerity to breathe in their vicinity. Because of their long lifespans and unnatural abilities, they were dubbed the Tyrants of Tyrol. That's more or less what the name means. Anyways, someone's gotta hunt the Turol Vidrol, and that someone is us, the Vipers. I've done a hunt or two in my day. You know, I've met a fair few adventurers during my time here, but I can tell you're a cut above the rest. Might even have what it takes to be a viper. Got a soul stone for me? Yeah, I thought so. If you're interested, I can teach you, on one condition. You'll help me hunt down the Turol Vidrol that's made its way to Eorzea. What do you say? Well, don't threaten me with a good time. Let's do this. Ha! Hell of a thing to ask out of the blue, I know. Just think on it some, will ya? Okay. Let's head back to Uda and the Weaver fellow. Let's head back to Uda and tell the Weaver fellow that we're square. The journey will give you some time to consider my offer. I don't need to consider. I'll take the class. No? Okay. We can walk. It's good. Okay, well, easy enough there. That's actually kind of cool. They put me right at the entrance gate rather than back where we were when the cutscene started. That's kind of unusual. Alright, back to the Weaver's Guild. Alright, let's see if we're square with the little fella. Keshqua. I gave our Weaver friend the good news, and he handed over a set of fancy duds, as promised. Gotta say, it was worth the trouble. So, about my offer. You ready to become a Viper and protect folk from the nastiest beasts that ever lived? Do you wish to become a Viper? No, I changed my mind. Of course, yes I do. I always find it funny that they make you actually click that, like you're signing like a non-discretion agreement. Look, if you join our guild, we're not responsible for bodily harm or other bad things that are going to happen. Just when you agree, that you just know you're non-discretion there. A mighty fine answer. I'll make a Viper out of you, just see if I don't. Have you been talking to one of my friends? Sounds exactly like her. First order of business, let me give you this here soul crystal. It contains the knowledge of our fighting arts, passed down since ancient times from one generation of vipers to the next. Assuming you've got the knack for it, our skills can be yours too. I've also got a fresh set of Viper gear for you. The Weavers Guild wanted to thank you for overseeing our hunt earlier, so they made you your very own outfit. Guess that fella took your measurements by eye or something. Oh, and the blades are a couple of spares I had handy. I mean, you always carry your extra pair of swords with you, right? I mean, who doesn't do that? Try it on for size and let me get a look at you while I'm at it. Alright, hand it over. Let's do this. Enter the Viper. We've got our Soul of the Viper, Weathered Snakebite Attire Coffer, and Weathered Twin Fangs. Cool. New expansion quest music. Viper unlocked. Alright, thank you, friend. Let's see what our duds look like here. Oh my goodness, I didn't finish cleaning this out. I thought I was ready to go. Alright. Put the crate down here, put that over there. No, not that crate. That crate. Okay. Let's get the gear first. Okay, yep, about what I was expecting. Alright, and when you equip a weapon, it will change your class, and of course all my class-specific gear comes off. Nope, not item comparison. Put on. Alright, how we looking? Alright, that's I've seen worse new class freebie gear. Not in love with the gloves particularly. Bold move with like a leather tunic. Pants don't look too ridiculous. Boots are relatively practical. How do we look? Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Not too bad. Okay, and I actually have prepped some gear here. This is much more combat fitting than what they just gave us. So this is old gear, so it was originally made for the ninja. We'll see how this looks. Not the terrible. Maybe we take off the headgear. And what we can do is we can actually use what's called the glamour system, and we can have it where we're wearing the better gear, but it looks like the new stuff. Although, I gotta say, not bad. Not bad. Pretty dignified. High collar fits. Okay. What I didn't have time to finish was we don't have quite enough gear. We still need the accessories here, and I don't think... Oh, I do have something. What is this? Level 1. Yeah, a bunch of Lobby stuff here. Sure, you can put it on for now. I do have some extra poetic saved up so we can actually buy those last couple pieces. Alright, that's going to be just fine. And then we need to make a new gear set. This is how you change classes. Equipment set. Oh, that was not it, champ. That was not it. Equip. Best stuff. It's been so long since I've had to make a new one. Alright, well, I'll fiddle with it when I'm not in front of a million people fumbling around. Alright, let's go turn in. I saved my Wondrous Tales, which is kind of like a weekly little quest log thing you can do, so that we could turn that in right away. And we need to build a shiner. We got a little starting experience here, and I think with those poetics, I think I have enough to buy the jewelry I need. I just need 3 pieces. And that'll have me set up there. Using my black umbrella, fitting I guess here. Oh, and you just like threw all my stuff onto bars, weirdly. Okay, yeah, that's definitely be looked at. Alright, Chloe, I got your book. Give me the poetics. I know, I never take those, so enjoy it while you can. Okay, about half a level, not bad. And I think there was reset, so I can get a new one. Yep. Alright, what are you gonna have me doing? Okay, we might be able to queue into a low-level dungeon and test that out. Where did I end up on currency? 891. That might be enough for what I need. Let's head over to... no, not Yosabad. Norvariant and Yulmar. See if we can pick up those last couple pieces of jewelry I need. Alright. Seems like the camera's working okay, although it looks maybe a smidgen on the blurry side. There's only so much I can do with this cheap camera for now, so we'll have to see if I just give up on it. Alright, we need... Is that actually what I want? Yeah. Yeah, crippler augmentation. No, I need to have the base piece first. Okay. That's fine. Give me accessories for Viper. And we've already got an earring that will work just fine. That's from the expansion pre-order thing. It gives you some extra XP while you're below level 90, so that'll just zip him along. So we don't need the earring, we need a neck, we need a bracer, and we need 2 rings, it looks like. Alright, let's... We're not going to quite have enough, I have a feeling. Yeah, just short, but not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, and... Equip, equip, equip. Alright, that's at least high enough to be combat able. Alright, let's see what they have to say about Viper. Viper Sight. Vipers engage enemies mainly through the use of 3-step combos. Their primary combos beginning with either Steel Fangs or Dread Fangs. The third step can end in one of several weapon skills, each of which grant an effect to strengthen the different combo ending action. To reach these actions will require the use of specific combo routes. The glow of Viper Sight's blades correspond with the outlining of the hotbar icons to indicate the next step in the combo. Following these indicators will help the use of combos that finish with a strength and attack. Okay, yep, I understand combo attacks. Alright, so we've got a bar over here. That is ridiculously out of the way. Yeah, we have a million skills here. Alright, I think the way to do this... Just start moving things around. Let's fix this HUD element that's bothering me. Alright, Viper Sight. This is where a lot of my class things sit, either here or over here. I don't think I'm going to use that. We'll try it here for now. Although I already kind of don't like that. No, I think we're going on this side. We'll have to play around with where this is going to end up. Depends on how much I have to put my eyes on it. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so we need to find those first 2 Steel Fangs and Dread Fangs. Those are the 2 that need to be first. So Steel Fangs and Dread Fangs. All right, Second Wind. Put that over here. Arm's Length. Something like over here. Just looking for the generic things. Okay, you don't go on my bar. Nor do you. Control R. I think that's you. Yeah, that's my normal sprint button. I know, super engaging watching somebody build a hotkey bar. Okay, stun. Steel Maw. Deliver an attack with a potency to all nearby. Okay, so that's AoE. Okay, I'm gonna need to make myself some room here. Alright. I always put my AoE. I kind of have like a standard layout, and that just helps me be somewhat vaguely... I don't think I want put that there. Somewhat vaguely consistent across all the classes. Alright, Withering Snap looks like it's my ranged attack. Goes right there. Alright, what are you? Dread Maw. Deliver an attack with a potency of 80 to all nearby enemies. Okay, so why are you different than Steel Maw? Radius 5. Got it, 25. Additional effect. Affects targets with Noxious Gnash. Noxious Gnash effect increases the damage you deal to targets. Extends the duration. Okay, you sound kind of like you two should combo. Not sure about that one. Slither. Rush to a target. Rush to target an enemy or party member's location. Okay. That's... You're definitely not there. You're there. That's always the movement skill. I need a target. Oh, I gotta set up a macro to be able to mouse target. Okay. Yeah, that'll be something to work on. Steel Maw, okay, we checked that one. True North, okay, this one allows me to attack with positionals without worrying about positionals. People go there. Hey, J-Rob, welcome in, man. I've seen skill bars like these. I do need to come back and revisit this. The way it's set up, I use a Logitech mouse. It's got like a freaking keypad on the side. It is not my preferred mouse, unfortunately, but I have this set up similar to how it is on the side, and it just helps my brain function a little bit better. My MMO mouse of my lifetime was the MMO Rat Cyborg 7 from Mad Catz. I love that thing to death. It was too expensive. It was like $100 a mouse. I bought 3 of them. The sensors would go out after about a year. But I loved that mouse, and they just refused to make another one. Like, the company went bankrupt, but now they're back, and they have similar mice, but they're not the same as the Cyborg Rat. It had a thumb nub that you could put on 1, 2, 3, 4, and then surrounding buttons around that. It felt so comfortable. It had a movable palm rest and movable finger rests, and the thumb portion could like expand out like a wing. So your hand was just like, it felt like you were just setting your hand on top of something, and all the buttons were just right there when you wiggled your thumb around. Whereas on this mouse, I have to raise I can't quite see on camera, I have to raise my palm up off the mouse to be able to pull my thumb back to these higher numbers. So I try to keep everything up at the top where I don't have to do so much movement, because it bothers my wrist after a little while. So yeah, that is unfortunate. I email them every couple months like, hey guys, are you going to come out with another one? And I always get the generic like, we are listening to your feedback. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want feedback. I want the mouse back. I'll pay your $100. Just give it back. Okay, changes to death rattle or last slash when requirements are met. Okay, so you're like some kind of cooldown. I think that's going to come off of these guys, and that's like the finisher to them. Dreadwinder delivers an attack with a potency of 450. Okay, it's on melee. It's on a 40-second cooldown. Increases the damage you deal to target by 10%. Duration 20. Okay, so this is like a big DPS cooldown. Expends Noxious Gnash. Okay, I usually have my self buff there. Remind me, J-Rob, did you say that you had played some Final Fantasy? I might be mixing you up with somebody else. Hunter's Quail delivers an attack with potency of 500, 550 when executed from the flank. Okay, so now we're looking at our positionals. Increases potency of Twin Fang by 50. Okay, this is like, that's a lot of stuff. I mean, I bet you do the same, but I bet you do rear. Yep. Okay. I watched just a smidgen of somebody talking about the class, so I wasn't coming in totally blind. Pit of Dread delivers an attack with a potency of 200 to all nearby enemies. Affects target with Noxious Gnash. Didn't we already do that here? Flicks target with Noxious Gnash. Okay, we have multiples. Oh, this is a cooldown. Okay. Resets... Oh, shares a recast timer with Dreadwinder. Okay, that's you two. Put it there. I don't... That's kind of similar to how I do things on the Gunblade. We'll see if I like that. I'm liking that I don't have a ton of buttons. My old man wrist will appreciate that. If I could keep everything to 6, I've got just 1 through 6. Well, 1 through 12 technically, but number plus control, number plus alt, number plus shift, and then this is on my mouse wheel. I have a tilt, so this is the click, and this is the tilt left and then tilt right. This is okay, but it falls apart when I get too low. I just don't have the mental acuity to be able to remember that many buttons anymore. Hunter's Den. No range, radius 5, delivers an attack with potency of 350 all nearby enemies. Okay, hang on. Why? It feels like you are... Why would I use you? What do? You just do like a tiny amount of damage. Why wouldn't I just use these attacks? So you're locked. Delivers an attack posting at 250. Additional gives Hunter Instinct. Yeah, we've seen all that stuff. Duration 30 seconds. Upon successfully landing this action, Twin Fang changes to Twin Fang Thresh. Okay, that's something over here. That's not you. Maybe you're the finisher action. I'll bring you back this way. Okay. You have to see how that works in action. Swiftskin Den. Delivers an attack, blah blah blah. Grants Swift Scale. Can only be executed after Pit of Dread or Hunter's Den. Pit of Dread or... Okay, Hunter's Den. Pit of Dread. Dread Maw. I may not even have the skill yet. Oh, Pit of Dread. Okay, hang on. I don't know where that's going to end up. I'm going to stick that over here for now. That sounds like AoE, so that generally goes over on my control. Okay, same thing, I'm guessing. Can only be executed after Pit of Dread. Okay, so that's the same here. You have a radius. You also have a radius. Alright, I'm going to stick those there. We'll have to come back to that. And looks like the final two. Twin Fang. Changes Twin Fang by Thresh when the root are met. Death round. Okay, so there's going to be something going on here. Okay. And Twin Blood changes to Twin Blood Bite or Twin Blood Thresh when requirements to execute our man. You guys are just really not helping me out here. Alright, we're just going to stick it here. These two have the same symbol. That makes me think that they probably go together. Stick them there for now. I'm loving the small number of buttons. We can't get that many more. Yeah, 82, 86, 90... okay, we do have a few more, but some of these are going to change into each other. First time I've ever seen this game. I'm very casual on the MMO front, except for Eve. Oh man, Eve's a lifestyle, man. I don't know if you can you play that casually? I guess you could log in and like refill your factories once a week. Yeah, I did a stint in Eve. I never got into like a good corp or anything. I didn't try particularly hard, so Eve solo was not particularly fun. Dipped my toes into just a tiny bit of PvP, but I'm kind of risk adverse, so that was difficult, and I wasn't nearly good enough to do solo PvP in Eve, for sure. Okay, we have a bar. Let's go see what we can do with it. I think the way we're going to just do a quick test. I'm a level 80 class. Level 80 could either be the end of Shadowbringers or the beginning of Endwalker. So the beginning of Endwalker probably gives the better XP. Maybe we try Thavnir. Let's see what Thavnir's got. I'm going to look and see if we can do a fate, like a on-map quest, just to get myself into combat. Or we could find like an elephant or something to stab over here. I always tell myself I'm going to come back through here and finish off all these quests I didn't do. Yep. Always tell myself that. Oh, hey, striking dummies. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, okay, perfect. We can use those to test this out. Okay, put away the umbrella. Let's see how this goes. So, I know enough that these two buttons are going to change as I use my combo, so is there any reason to start with one of these over the other? Delivers an attack frequency 150 with Nash. Okay, so that's like my debuff that I want to keep on the target. So we'll start there. Okay, then I could go either way. We'll go that one. And I could go either way. We'll go that one. Okay, then number 3 lights up. Okay, yeah, that's easy enough. And then I think we want to switch based on the color here. Then we can go through the one left side combo. We finish with that. That's easy enough. Okay. And I would want to... I think we just want to use Dread Fangs. Yeah, you do less damage. So I only want to do Dread Fangs if I would need to keep the debuff up. And you're saying do that side. And we spin. Yeah, easy enough. Okay. What about the AoE stuff? What, did I just do you? Oh, you do the same thing. I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay, so I have a little bit of an AoE combo, although we flip over to here. Interesting. Okay, what if we started with that one? We could go either way, we go that one again, we could go either way, and then we unlock that. Okay, so you, Serpent's Tail. I might want a second copy of you over on my AoE section. Serpent's Tail. That way when I'm holding control to do my AoE combo here, in fact, let's just test it. I don't have to let go of control. I have to make things as like brainless as possible, and doubly so if I'm going to try to... Oh, that's cool animation. Let's actually see what we're doing here for a second. I have to make it as brainless as possible because about 30% of my IQ is just turning on the camera or the record button usually. Okay, yeah, that totally works. Okay, so we finished our combo. We have a combo like penultimate attack. That's easy enough. Alright. Requirements are met. What are the requirements for you? I'm guessing that has something to do with something we don't have unlocked. Alright, if we pop you. Alright, we have this. Oh, now we have a option. Okay, hang on. Alright, so maybe you belong over here. You're single target, you're also single target, you're also single target. Okay. Sure, do that one. Okay, and then that. Alright, what are you then? Alright, let's try this. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can already feel that I have to move my palm the second I go down to 7-8. Okay, so we're hitting them, yeah, we do a combo, we finish it. Okay, now I'm going to pop that cooldown, and then I just move down to 4 or 5. And you are usually flank stuff. Okay, and then I have 2 from there. And then another one. Holy moly, okay. That's a little awkward for my button setup. It's unusual to have that many things. Okay, you kind of seem to be like the finisher. Maybe I could do that. You're not AoE though, right? No. Okay, I think I at least vaguely have an idea. I'm gonna have to get some experience with it to actually use it. We have a Fate or something around here. Level 80, perfect. Not remembering how I get out of combat with dummies. I might say something. Look at all those munchkins. Yep. What other MMOs have I enjoyed? I used to be a major MMO player, so many. I didn't play the original Star Wars MMO. That was just a smidgen before I really had great internet, and I couldn't really do it, but my first, what I would consider my first MMO was a game, it was like a Korean game called Dark Ages. Not of Camelot, which I played next after that. And I loved that game. There's things about that game that's like my nostalgia MMO. They had such a cool system where there was like this whole religion system in the game, but it was like player run. It was really cool. I don't know if you could even do it nowadays with the way people are. Oh, jeez. But yeah, that was a really cool system. And then I went on to Dark Age of Camelot, and I played that pretty heavily. They did, when their expansion came out, my computer couldn't really handle it anymore. And so I had to quit that. I played World of Warcraft, of course, City of Heroes, City of Villains. That's another one of my, like, White Whale games. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that game. What else? World of Warcraft. I played World of Warcraft very heavily. It came out at just the right point of my life. I was... well, no. Before World of Warcraft was Lineage 2. There's my one MMO regret, was Lineage 2. That was the one time in my life that I let gaming go too far. Like, I was skipping classes to play. My guild in that, we were farming this stupid hallway 24/7, like literally 24/7. That was our hallway that we farmed. It was stupid. So I learned my lesson from that. Don't be stupid when you're playing MMOs. After that, World of Warcraft came out, and that was just like the absolute perfect time for me, because... No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that either. I was a sophomore in college. I had my classes under control. Yeah, it was really, really good there. So I played that really heavily. I was an officer in a raid guild all the way up to Burning Crusade, basically. And then I stepped down from there. I joined a different guild with some different people, and we casually raided for about the first half of BC. And then I left World of Warcraft there, and played some EVE at that point, and Final Fantasy, I think, since then. I'm sure there's a couple others, but none that I've been so heavily into. Alright, I am still stuck. Oh no, I don't have a mount on my bar. That's what's going on. Of course, I should have known that. Okay, now a major decision. What mount is proper for a Viper? I have a decent selection. I was thinking alligator, or I have like a drake. Those would be vaguely... Okay, so we have alligator. Test him out. And then where's my drake? Yeah, you. Alright, so... Okay, I'm a Viper. Do I ride an alligator? I mean, it's pretty, like, jungle, New Worldy. I think that's alright. Or... a little more classic, maybe we go with, like, a drake. I love this model. And he also can breathe fire, which I get a kick out of. Did the alligator do anything special? No, you're just a regular alligator. Although you're actually I think you're probably actually a crocodile. Aren't No, I guess alligators are the short nose and crocodiles have the longer nose. Maybe I'm getting those mixed up. You are a chunky boy too. Okay. After that all fixed, my flying alligator and I will head over to another fate. See what we can do. Play RuneScape. RuneScape's one I never got into. And I don't really have a reason why. I think it got really popular. I was already playing other things. So I don't really have that nostalgia that I think a lot of people have. Okay, so we start our combo. Get him there, do our finisher. Okay, what if we do this buff? Hit him with that. Hit him with that. And we have to finish down there. Oh, and then we have to go back there. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, I already said that. Those two were the same. Maybe these two do go to 7 and 8. I don't know. I'm not in love with that. Not in love with that. Alright, we hit, we finish. Pop one of these. We can do true north. Hit. Yeah, I don't like having to juggle around with those ones. Put them on alt keys, maybe. I played during the golden age of WoW. Actually replayed Classic with my brothers when it came out a few years ago. I I played a lot of WoW when it came out. Like, a lot. Like, I think I had a in-game year played at about a year and a half, 2-year mark. I basically did nothing except for go to class, do my class work for college, and play WoW. That's all I did. Yeah. So, I was dirt broke, so $15 a month was the extent of what I could afford for entertainment. So, my entire entertainment was WoW. I had nothing else. So, yeah, I played the bejeebus out of that. I haven't really felt the want to go back, though, because I think, for me at least, it would be a lightning in a bottle. I would want to play with the people I played with back then, and that's just not going to happen. So, I think the nostalgia's done for me there. I also just don't like... I like the systems of Final Fantasy more. You can play every class on one character, and so I don't have to re-level classes, I don't have to get re-invited to a guild, I don't have to add my friends again. I really, really like that. Like, I feel bad when I play games that don't have that functionality now. Mr. Elephant, you are really hurting me, man. Need to do this. Okay, some of those are off the global cooldown, I see. Okay, let's pull back for a second. Okay, so you guys are off... Yeah, you're instant. Okay. Maybe I'm willing to put those on control. This is not what I normally would do. But I'm struggling. By having to lift my wrist here, it's hard to hit those, and timing's going to be super important on these. Alright, let's try it. In fact... I also should be even lazier than I currently am. I could summon my Chocobo here, and he can heal me. I didn't spend all the time leveling this chump to not use him. Okay, so we start our combo. We can do either side. Do the finisher. Okay, what if we pop this? Then we have to hit with that. That is on global. That. Okay, that's not too bad. I like not having to lift my wrist up there. That definitely will help for long play sessions. Oh, Planet Side. Yeah. I didn't play a ton of Planet Side, but I really liked what I did. At the time, the friend I was mostly playing with, his PC started shutting down when we were playing. I think in the end it turned out that it was overheating, but that kind of ruined it, because him and I we just played everything together, and so if he couldn't play, I wasn't playing. But yeah, that was a good one. That still exists, right? PlanetSide 2 is still a thing? Original kind of MMO shooter. I loved making the supply runs in that game. Him and I, we'd run with the ant. I think that was what it was called. I always loved doing that. Let down by the technology limitations of the time. Yeah, I mean, they did a lot with what they had. I think it would have helped them a lot if we just had more common broadband internet. Because, like, for me, let's see, what would I have been? I would have been playing on my wireless at that point. There was, like, a local company that did wireless, and there was, like, interference, so they had to put a signal booster on my connection. That was the, like, most bonkers internet I've ever had. It was so ridiculous. With that booster on there, I don't know if they didn't set it up right or whatever, but I was getting, like, I don't even remember, that was too long ago, but I would go to work and I would set myself up to acquire a bunch of anime, and I would literally have, like, 2 series when I'd come home to watch from work. But the latency was horrible, so... yeah, the latency was absolutely miserable. And just until last year, out where I live now, I was on a wireless connection because there was nobody who had brought wire out here. It was like 2 blocks away from where I live, and every single company refused to bring it over. I am not going to survive that. Nope. Sorry, I didn't mean it. I thought you were just another mob, but you're kind of like a boss. Run, Chocobo, run! Fly, you fool! Too brave by half. Alright, do we have one I can actually do? No, we gotta just chill for a second. Yeah, that was a cool one, and nobody's really had something that quite hit that same stride as PlanetSide. I don't feel. Oh, there we go. There's one up there. Yeah, this feels pretty decent. We'll see how complicated this gets when we add these extra hits. I know they have like a really long off-global thing that goes on. I did do Dragoon for a while, and they had a lot of that in their rotation, and it was okay. They just had so dang many buttons in their combo. I think I had like 1 through 9, and that was like part of the regular combo. Alright, are you going to be a doable one? Yes, you look like you're a doable one. By the way, since somebody's in here and chatting, does the camera look okay? Like, on my preview side it looks a little blurry, but it's also super tiny and far away with my little porthole monitor as my second monitor. So I don't know if that's me, if that's the stream encoding. I'm really pushing the limitations of my 1080 Ti to be playing a game and encoding the stream and asking it to do a camera. That was not the plan, but that's how life turned out. So I did really want to add camera for Final Fantasy. I'm not going to use it for all the content, but the meta of Final Fantasy is people have cameras. So I think I'm shooting myself in the foot if I don't at least have that up and running. Okay, the basic combo feels pretty nice here, I have to say. Alright, we want to start with this one if I don't have them debuffed. So, use the one starter unless I need the 2, or things are lit up. Alright. Pretty flashy class, I do have to say. There are newer classes in... I'm gonna say Endwalker, but maybe other ones too, recently have just been so smooth. Like, Reaper feels good to play. It's so satisfying. Alright, looks like we are collecting these blooms for that guy I talked to. I do like that this is about the amount of attention I can spend on that and chat and whatnot. So at least that gives me hope that I can actually do dungeons and whatnot while talking at the same time. I suppose I could always go with like a tank too, which outsource somebody else keeping me alive. Okay, that also means for my AoE combo I should start with the number 2 also. Looks pretty clear on the stream? Okay, thank you for the feedback on that. I'm glad. Yeah, I don't have experience having to patch a camera in, and I was having problems with the delay. So I had to... Yeah, I won't bore you with the details, but there's a whole bunch of back-end stuff, which led to me having to change all my sound stuff. So, I absolutely hate messing with sound before I start a recording or a stream, because that is a recipe for disaster. And of course, what did I do? I spent 2 hours last night playing with both. I also recorded an entire video without sound, so that was good. That was excellent. Very, very happy about that. How the character works, is this guy new? So, the way that this one works is you can have every single class on the same character. So, if I open this up, these are all the classes in the game, barring this new one and the Pictomancer they just added. So, 32 classes, including crafters and gatherers, and every one of those is their own class. So, if you're a new player and you're starting out, by about level 15, you can switch classes. Like, you just go to an NPC and say, like, hey, can I become a paladin? Well, you You don't start as a paladin, but hey, can I become a paladin? And they're like, yeah, sure. And then you can level up your paladin. And it's the same class. Like right now, if I just want to go play paladin, I could just switch to my paladin. And now I'm a paladin. And if I get bored of that, okay, now I'm my reaper, and you can play that. The only real limitation there is you can't change like in a dungeon. I just realized I don't have a save for my viper. Oh no, now I have to find the viper and all my weapons. There it is. I'll need to make a hotkey set for that. So essentially, as soon as you change your weapon, you change classes. That's all there is to it. And yeah, it's such a good system. I feel so spoiled. That's one of the reasons I think I could never play like classic WoW, because I was a bit of an altaholic. I leveled like everything, and combine that with racial traits. Yeah, lot of alt leveling. Final Fantasy XIV is very, very, very story driven. So it would suck. It would really suck if you had to re-level classes. Most people do not use alts, or if they do, it's just for like meme stuff or costuming or whatever. Most people have one character and they level all their classes on it, because it is kind of like a normal Final Fantasy game where it is so story driven. There's the MSQ, the main story quest, and it's linear essentially. I'm trying to help you, dude. Hold still. It's linear essentially, so yeah, having to redo it would make no sense. Like, there's full-on cutscenes and everything. And every one of these classes has their own story and whatnot that goes with it. Now, the quality varies. The Paladin quest is, I think most people consider by far the worst. By far. But conversely, like, the Dark Knight quest is considered some of the best. It is really good writing. Very enjoyable. I enjoyed most of them, but like the samurai one was really good too. I'm really like reluctant to say too much because I just don't want to have any spoilers or anything, but yeah, the stories were excellent. They all have their own cast of characters. As the expansions have rolled on, if you've leveled certain classes, maybe you'll see an NPC that other people don't have at that point in the quest because they know you, or the dialogue will change a little bit because they're referring to something that you did. The last expansion, Endwalker, closed out the last 10 years of story, essentially, and so Dawntrail is the start of the new story. So it'll be interesting to see there. I'm super duper excited. I've been holding back to not start. My plan is, I think on Sunday we will actually start the actual story. So I'm just kind of dinking around here a little bit. Just essentially, I want to give myself enough footage to watch back and decide if I like or don't like a setting or whatnot, and just to chill and talk to people. When I'm off camera here, I'm gonna go actually focus on leveling up. In fact, we could probably queue for a dungeon. That would probably be fine. I don't feel like I'm gonna make a total fool out of myself. Another really, really big bonus I find in Final Fantasy is all of their dungeon content, their raid content, etc. is essentially evergreen. So if I queue into the lowest level dungeon, if I go back to the first dungeon of the game, it'll scale me down to level 15. So I can play with a brand new player. I will be much more powerful. And yeah, I just will be more powerful. But it's not like oppressively so. So this is super nice. If you have a friend that starts playing, you can queue into things and play with them. And I don't have to roll a new character, and it's like, oh no, I can't play my character because that's the character I play with so-and-so. But I really want to play my warrior, but I can't because he's not on right now. So you don't have any of that. It's very, very nice. And there's a lot of difficulty settings you can use. They have a thing called the Echo in here, and essentially that gives you stat boosts. And you can turn that off. You can also queue in with minimum item level. So that'll make you the lowest it can possibly make you for the content you're queuing into. So a lot of people who have joined Final Fantasy since it kind of got more popular, they love to do like raids and stuff on no echo, minimum item level. And it gives you as close of an experience as you can have to how it originally was. And yeah, I love that so much. Because even when I was playing WoW, like in Burning Crusade, nobody ran the old content. Just nobody ran it. So it was so hard. I know they have like LFR and stuff now, but yeah, it was so hard if you wanted to do older content. In here, when I leveled through, especially if you're a tank or a healer, you'll often just have instant queues. It is so nice. It is so nice. Alright. I'm going to queue into a leveling dungeon. We will see how much we regret that. Because I'm a DPS, yeah, 17-minute average wait time. Everyone's playing the new DPS classes, so it's alright. I'll just dink around out here until that pops, and then maybe we'll run that dungeon and then call it quits there. Maybe that'll be a good first start. Nobody's running that one. Why are we not running this one? We totally should, because this has a XP up. Alright, so we pop you to start. True North. Pop that. Okay, I still don't like where those extra buttons are. I'm gonna have to fiddle with that some, so I don't care for that. Having to think about using control when I'm in single target is not what my brain's used to. After leveling 20-something classes, you kind of have to keep things systematic. This feels really intuitive to play, though. I'm just kind of following the dotted lines at the moment, but this will definitely be a muscle memory thing that will easily build up. This feels just really nice and straightforward. Start with the number 2 to get the debuff. Just follow the combo through. Yeah, that feels nice. Stun. I think Guild Wars did that too. Which part? The story thing? I did play... Oh, there's another one I played. I played Guild Wars a smidgen, but I only really played it to prep for Guild Wars 2. I played that one a decent amount. I got through the main story of the original. I didn't play the expansions. I tried to go back to that not too long ago, but they had dumbed down the classes so far, I didn't like it. I had I think it was a paladin in that game, that used like a big two-handed hammer, and I had all this like smashy attacks and AoE buffing and stuff I really enjoyed. And then when I went back to play, they had like gotten rid of all the cool abilities. It felt really boring to me. So, it did not go back since. Leveling you down. Ah, gotcha. Well, they also had the advantage of they had a really low level cap. That game was much more about the horizontal progression. I think we're going to see that in Final Fantasy II. This expansion takes the level cap up to 100, and they've already said, like, yeah, we really don't want to keep doing that. But, I don't know, when you have horizontal leveling, it sounds great, but in reality, you're going to hit this point where somebody who's been at level cap grinding for a year is going to be so much more powerful than somebody who hasn't. So, I don't know. That's hard to do. That's hard to do. And Final Fantasy is relatively known for being a very balanced game. Like, when people get outraged, like there was an outrage last expansion about a certain boss, and they literally nerfed it by like 1 or 2%, and then everything was fine. Like, that's how finely tuned it is. And that was like a super exception. We hardly ever see things like that. One of the things I appreciate is when they do their testing, their internal teams beat the raids before they come out. Unlike what WoW generally was doing, where just in theory, by the numbers, they think it can be beat, and then they release content that can't be beat. So, appreciated there for sure. Alright, debuff out, use you, and then you should be the rear attack. Yeah, this is feeling pretty good. I'm below the recommended level. Oh yeah. What level was this? Alright, well, that's fine. There's 78 mobs. totally fine with that. Okay, so when I pop this for... Okay, I guess I'm just going to have to retrain my brain on this. I think these are okay. I'm just going to have to accept that. That's a lot of buttons with a modifier on them, though. Not in love with that. Alright, start with the 2 to get the debuff out. Then for the AoE, I don't know if it actually matters which I do. Alright. I do know that there's another section to my class bar I haven't unlocked yet. So that I think that's all those other buttons we don't have. It has to do with this like twin sword thing I used at the end of that combo instead of the dual wielding. Tried Necromancer and bounced off the game pretty quick. I like Necromancer a lot. I really like debuffs and like dot play. I played a Warlock in Burning Crusade. Yeah, I love debuffing characters. It's one of the things I loved most about City of Heroes / City of Villains. You could literally have a group that relied on debuffs or buffs as your survival. Like, you didn't have to have the Holy Trinity, and it was 100% viable. 100% viable. Absolutely love that. I did see that they, NCSoft finally stopped being stupid, and they gave their, I guess, blessing to the unofficial servers that people had sneakily been running, or at least one of them. I might have to go back and try that again. That was like probably one of my favorite games of all time. I literally, like, a decade after the game shut down, would like still be having shower thoughts like, oh hey, what if I made a Earth Ice character, and then I took this other ability? Like, I would literally just randomly start thinking about that game, even though it had been shut down for a decade, to my knowledge. I wasn't a cool kid who got to know that there were private servers running. I need to let my poor Chocobo here have a second to heal himself. I think I have him set up to be a tank at the moment, so I think that's why he's pulling aggro. You can change their abilities and stances and whatnot. Yeah, this is feeling really good. I just need to remember, always lead off with 2. To get that debuff rolling. I keep leading off with 1, because normally I start with my 1s. I also like that it's just an attack I have to do to start off the debuff. Reaper does something kind of similar, but it's its own button, and I always forget to re-up that debuff for some reason. And it's like really vital that you're actually running it. So that always feels really bad. Yeah, if you're looking at this, J-Rob, actually they just added the second expansion to the free trial. So you get the entire base game, the entire Heaven's Ward, which a lot of people say is like one of the best expansions of MMOs, and the entirety of Stormblood. Like, it is a ridiculous free trial. That's level 70 out of 100 that you can go play on. I've heard of people that were playing the free trial before they added Stormblood, and they had 3,000 to 5,000 hours of playtime. 100% free. Now, of course, you know, it's got restrictions. You can't trade, you can't whisper, etc., etc. But as far as like a free trial of something, that is ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. I wonder if I could recruit somebody to give me a ride into a dungeon. Let me chat in my free company. It's what they call guilds here. See if I have a kind soul who will help me out. Some of them have already rushed all the way through the entire leveling process, so they're all talking about leveling crafters and stuff. I got into a private server for Lineage 2. Man, like I mentioned earlier, Lineage 2 was my downfall. That is the one time in my life that I have let gaming be unhealthy. I was not sleeping, I was not going to class properly. I did do all my work, so at least I did that, but yeah, I was obsessed with that game. I played a Blade Dancer. Did the private servers work well for that? It seems to me that there wouldn't be enough people. Okay, I might be able to get a ride. They're in a dungeon currently. Alright, that's totally fine. Are you trying to get me addicted to MMJOs? I have a job too, I'm just on my off season. I will also say, I do feel that Final Fantasy is a decent MMO that respects your time pretty well. When I play other things, I get into that like FOMO mindset. Like I play Star Rail some, and I get into this FOMO mindset, which is exactly what those type of games are trying to do to you. And I don't know, I don't feel comfortable, even though I really, really like Star Rail, I don't feel comfortable recommending it to people because it's a freaking gacha. Like, everything's a gacha that comes out. Like, do you want the government to come in and regulate games? Because that's how you're going to get it to happen. You're going to get all these kids addicted to gambling, and they're going to come in and start regulating. And as we all know, as soon as the government gets involved, it's going to turn to complete crap. So, I wish they would just stop. It's time to stop. So, yeah, I don't feel that nearly as bad in Final Fantasy. If I feel like logging in, I log in and play, and if I don't feel like logging in, I don't log in. And I don't feel like I'm missing out. So I appreciate that, because sometimes, you know, work gets busy. I was really, really pushing myself the last couple months to keep the Dominions content regular. I have not missed a single Monday video. I have not missed a single Friday stream since I started. But that was a lift. That was a big lift. Hence why I've been able to pump out so much content now. I'm not, you know, I've got the free time. Very happy about that. I'm looking forward to finishing Early Age. I love Early Age, but I'm kind of ready to do something different, and Middle Age is going to have some, you know, new cool stuff going on. We'll get to play with some other... We're kind of at, I don't want to say the bad nations or anything, but obviously these are mostly the nations I'm less excited about because I haven't done them yet. We still have Urmor I'm pretty excited about, and Muspelheim. Pretty jazzed about that one, because that's a nation I haven't played at all since it wasn't in 5. But, yeah. I'm enjoying my time now. Alright, I think I got a ride here. Hopefully, yeah, I'm covered up my chat box correctly. Oh my goodness, could I spell this name correctly? There we go. And I have literally no idea what they're going to cue us into, but I will let them choose. Man, has it literally been raining the entire time I've been here? Alright. They say that they're good to go. I'm not in any rush. Alright, let's see what we can get here. Yeah, we'll just do random. We'll let it pick. Cool. Thank you, healer friend. I really appreciate it. When there's a new expansion and you've got 2 DPS classes added. Alright, where did we end up? Katana Ravel. Oh my, I haven't done this in forever. Alright, this will be interesting. And of course we have another Viper. Alright, let's see how much brain power I have while actually doing this on camera and live. 5 should be the rear attack. 4 should be the side. Dodge. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Pop one of you. Sidey stuff. Rear stuff. Sidey stuff. Get greedy and probably hit. Nope, nope, he's dead. I like also that ever since maybe Stormblood, I would say, which was their second expansion, they've really homed in on the pacing of dungeons. So most dungeons are 15 minutes, 20 minutes usually, something like that. So it is not a gigantic time commitment. Sometimes, like, I feel in other MMOs, like, you had to, like, have everything ready because you might be in that dungeon for an hour or something. And that was the wrong starter there. I need to start with 2. Now we're cooking. Get that debuff out. I think my friend here is pushing towards 100 already. Yeah, they've really dialed in the pacing on these dungeons. I much appreciate that. It also helps that I've literally got over 3,000 hours in this game, and I have reported one person ever, and it was somebody on one of the really big raids. It was a tank that was just trying to hit the raid with mechanics, like blatantly so. I have no idea why. And I've had one other person that I was like, dude, like, knock it off. And that's it. Like, that's really good. That's really good for an MMO. Oh. And now I'm getting hit because I'm talking. Alright, follow the shinies. Follow the shinies. Rear attack. Bonus attack. Get the debuff. Alright, I'm getting somewhere. Not making a total fool out of myself. How fun is Viper so far? I've been enjoying it. I was a little worried that it was going to be too busy for me to try to play on stream, especially blind. I watched like a very, very tiny little video. I need to buy that too. Oh, nice. Thank you, team. It's felt pretty intuitive. I'm struggling a little bit with a couple buttons, but that's just because of the way I have my mouse set up. If I find where these two are going to go, it feels really intuitive. There's a whole nother mechanic. There's like some sort of combo build-up thing that I don't have access to yet. So that'll be something that, I don't know, maybe it'll change my opinion. But so far, I have to say, it feels very smooth. Very smooth. Like, it reminds me of Reaper. Like, I find Reaper very smooth to play, and this feels like the same. Yeah, it really is follow the dotted line on this. I'm having to like lean on those training wheels pretty heavily right now, but that's okay. That's what they're there for. I also haven't been playing for, I don't know, since like November, so I'm also just having to dust off the rust off. He's gonna do a right attack. I think some people don't like the way this game does its tells, but I really like it. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not like a action per minute Twitch gamer anymore. Twitch is in like fast reaction, but it feels really good to me. Like, it makes me feel like a good player. Whether I am or not, I don't know. But at least I feel like I'm doing okay, rather than feel like I'm fumbling around and like, I don't know. I'm a person that doesn't. Ouch. I'm a person that doesn't like to feel like I'm letting people down when I'm playing in group content. When I first started playing MMOs, that Dark Age game, my internet was a dial-up, and it would DC randomly, and so I played a healer for a bit, and like I would like lag or DC, and people would die, and I felt so bad. I felt so bad. So that kind of like burned me on playing healers, and it really wasn't until I started playing Final Fantasy that I was willing to love again and start playing healers. Not really a role I like, but I think it's literally because of that. I don't like feeling like I'm letting people down. So, yeah. Tank I feel much better on. I like tanks quite a bit. I enjoy DPS too, but the thing about DPS is everyone plays DPS, so you end up with DPS queues. Hence why I think I have my warrior ready to go. I was using him to grind some currency for Viper, just so that if I need to, I can switch over to warrior, who's kind of considered like a Ooga Booga Me Smash class. And I did a couple test recordings playing warrior. I didn't publish them or anything, but just to see how it would go while I was trying to comment at the same time. And it was pretty easy. It felt pretty good. Yeah, I definitely need to get my... there's a macro I can use to do mouse over instead of having to target this movement ability. I keep trying to use it, but it's... Obviously my other abilities must have macros, because I keep trying to hit them. I also really like in this game that they do not allow add-ons or mods. Now, yeah, there are people who break TOS and use them, but I don't. And I really like that, because that was one of the other things about WoW. By the end of WoW, I had to curate this list of add-ons and mods. And so when there'd be a new patch, sometimes I had to spend an entire day getting everything to work properly. And I could not play with the vanilla UI at all by the time I was done. And everything you're seeing here is all vanilla UI. And you can make this much prettier. I'm not somebody who has a pretty UI. It's all built in, all very doable. Grab the treasure, guys. Let's read on my loot here. No, there's hardly any, but nobody's gonna care about loot. Everyone's just leveling their classes at the moment. This is, by the way, a level 75 dungeon, so this isn't like super lobby or anything. This is from 2 expansions ago. This would be Shadowbringers. But yeah, running very smooth. At least my game's not having problems streaming and encoding at the same time. So that's good. When I watch it back, we'll see if I dislike the quality or anything, but I've fiddled with that. So I've made it, I think I've pushed my card as hard as it can go. I think old Gramps here, he's ready for his retirement. So hopefully I'm waiting for Prime Day. I was gonna build the machine a couple weeks ago, but because of my well problems, which I didn't get the well driller out, but I got the plumber out. So that's one step closer. And he gave me the news I wanted to hear, which was he doesn't think we're going to have to retrench. We'll be able to hook into the existing stuff. So that's something. Hence why I had to start streaming 30 minutes late today, because I had that appointment. But to bring that full circle, I'm waiting for Prime Day because I'm going to try to save a little bit of money. I was originally just going to build it the week I got off of work. But yeah, not going to happen, unfortunately. I'm hoping on Prime Day that I can get most of my stuff through Amazon, and I'm hoping that I can save about 20%. That would make me very, very happy. A while back, we actually met the channel goal. I wanted to make YouTube videos enough that I could pay for a microphone, and we got there a couple months ago. So I'm very happy about that. So hopefully with my new microphone, I won't be using this headset, which I have made this sound as good as humanly possible. This is the max of the Logitech. I think this is the 600. And yeah, to improve from here, I need an actual mic on a mic boom. And yeah, one of my goals was to do that. We smashed that goal. We absolutely smashed it. Stop. That hurts. We absolutely smashed that goal. So I'm very, very happy about that. And everything else that I've had recently is essentially just going to be rolled into computer stuff to make the stream better. So I'm gonna spend a little more than I was. Why is everyone moving? Oh, that was bad. I'm gonna spend a little more than I otherwise would if it was just a machine for me playing around on. So very happy about that. Very happy about that. People have been enjoying the Dominions content quite a bit, and like I said, I'm still loving it. But I do kind of feel I've hit like the, I guess you'd call it, audience cap. Like if I look at other Dominions channels, we're all basically getting the same amount of views. So the people who love Dominions are watching Dominions, and we're not going to see a ton of more people there. So I'm hunting around for another game to add, so I can have at least 2 games to kind of bounce back and forth between. And I'm not playing this at like 100% efficiency, but I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm not ashamed of this performance. By the way, since we are in the death of Kermit, I think I sound a lot less like Kermit than when I started. When I started, I literally didn't have any filters or anything. All I did was change the volume. Now I'm running compressors and filters and limiters and all sorts of shebangs. I was gonna say, how's the music and the sound? Like, this guy sounds a smidgen loud to me when he's doing that ground pound. But it's just really hard for me to tell what stream sounds like. I must have my headset EQ different than I do my recording software. And I'm really hesitant to play with multiple sound systems. That sounds like a really bad plan. Hey Wolf, welcome in, man. Sorry I missed you when you popped in. Have not played a Final Fantasy title since 7. Well, you stopped at a good point. I love 7. I borrowed the disc of that from one of my friends. So I finished the first disc, and then I had to wait till the next Friday when I could go over to his house to trade discs. Oh, those were the days. Yeah, I will definitely say, like, I can heartily suggest Final Fantasy XIV. It has such a good free trial. If nothing else, just try the free trial. It costs you nothing. You can play up the first 2 expansions. That's just ridiculous, the amount of content that they're letting people play. I will say, the story in the first one's a bit slow. A lot of people really complained about it. I actually like it. I played through it twice. I had one character, then I decided to make a different character when I came back to the game. The first character, I didn't skip the story, but I wasn't really paying much attention. I wasn't doing any of the, like, raids or anything. Playing through it the second time and actually paying attention, I really liked it. It starts off slow. Like, you're a new adventurer, and you do crappy adventurer jobs. So it's a lot of, like, old-style MMO stuff, like doing deliveries, go here and kill some stuff. It's a little better than that, but the story's a smidgen slow. However, they use all of the stuff that happens later. So when some crazy thing happens, 99% of the time, you're like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, I should have seen that coming, or yeah, I saw that coming. Like, they're very consistent. There's only been 1 or maybe 2 times that I've been like, I don't know about that story development. That doesn't make much sense. Everything else has been like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I just did a different buff to myself, and I unlocked different buttons I haven't been pushing. So I need to look at this Pit of Dread again when we're not in here. That did something different than I have not been doing. That might be a different combo branch. Yeah, this just feels really, really smooth, I have to say. I also like that, unlike the Reaper, I don't have any moves that require me to hold still. As you can see, I tend to twitch a lot while playing. A bad habit when you're tanking, to be sure. But yeah, this just feels really nice and smooth. I can't imagine that it'll get worse. Unless they add a cast ability that you have to hold still for. it's going to stay nice and smooth like this. Yeah, this is an MMO Wolf. This is Final Fantasy XIV. Alright, let's do it, big boy. Alright, that should be rear. That should be flank. That should be rear. Flank. Trying to start memorizing which abilities I need to stand where for. This is the class that does have some positionals. Gotta play mechanics, Babel. Gotta play mechanics. You can't just push buttons. I also see that my debuff can stack up to a minute rather than the whatever it starts at. So I could probably, yeah, I could probably pile that on a little deeper. Man, I missed this combat music. Endwalker was good, but it, I don't know, this music. I'll show up here for a second so you guys can actually hear it. That debuff stacked up. All nice. I think that's the rear attack. And I don't have any defensive abilities on this class, I'm noticing. I have like a self-heal. It's like, I guess, a life drain. And that is the extent of my defensive abilities. People actually doing mechanics, always good to see. Got my debuff up, so I go into the number 1 combo. You should be rear. Yeah, I have to say, I'm very much enjoying the class. And I'm very encouraged by not feeling like I'm playing like absolutely horrible, so I think I can play this on stream. I need to dodge that. Nope, nope, over here, over here! Alright, good job, me. Mechanics aren't just for cars. I haven't been using my DPS cooldowns very well, though. That is definitely one place I could improve. Again. Alright, what do you got? Targeted AoE, okay. Easy enough. That, and then side, and then back, and then side. And I need to double check if all those bottom bar buttons are, boy, this combo, are actually positionals or not. I'm assuming that they are, but maybe that's just my inner Dragoon coming out, just assuming everything's a positional. Uh-oh. Have enough room? I do. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna pat myself on the back here, but I don't feel like this went too badly. Very nice. Player commendation. I can't give my friend a commendation, so you did a good job. Good job, team. We'll open the treasure chest, and I get all the treasure because everyone left. Okay. And I think that's basically what I want to show off here. So, we've been going, what, an hour and a half? So, a very short stream for me. But I think I'm going to call it there. And we will be back. I think this is going to be the Sunday stream. I don't know if I'm going to do the 10 o'clock window, Pacific Standard Time, AM, or if I'm going to do the 2 o'clock window. My goal is I will level this class up to the start of the expansion. We'll probably do the class quests to get us started, and then we will start the actual expansion. So it should be pretty good. It's like I said, it's the beginning of the next story. So even if you haven't played the game, I think you'll be able to come on in and enjoy it. And I can't say much because I've managed to stay spoiler-free, essentially. We're going to sail over the ocean to a new world, and we're going to help somebody in a battle for the throne. They're having a leadership change. And that's basically the extent of what I know about it. Yeah, thanks for coming in, J-Rob and Wolf. Great to see you guys here. Hang out, always appreciated. Thanks for being cool, everybody. And we're going to end it there. Do look forward to... I'm going to take tomorrow off for 4th of July. On Friday, we will be back at the regular time for Dominions. So the new 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time for that. And it should be pretty fun with Machaca. I'm expecting an okay game there. I think Machaca should be just fine. Unless we get like triple elfed or something again. And just live in pain like we had to for the Roost stream. Okay, and I'm going to shut that down there. Thank you a ton again, guys. J-Rob, thank you again for becoming a member. Really appreciate it, man. And thank you to anyone else who watches in the future. Hope you had at least some level of entertainment from my tech test here. All right, have a good day, guys. I will talk to you on Friday.